Hello dear viewers, welcome to this latest edition of the news in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Sarishan Hore. We'll begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame has chaired an extended meeting of the RPF Inkotanyi Political Bureau. Rwandan peacekeepers serving in the Central African Republic have provided free medical services to prison inmates. And on the international scene, China's President Xi Jinping has called on all countries to work together on AI governance. Now straight to the details. His Excellency, President Paul Kagame, who also chairs the RPF Inkotanyi Party, has called on members to develop homegrown solution to the country's challenges, emphasizing the important role of young people must play in that effort. The head of state made the comments on Friday during an extended political bureau meeting held at the party's headquarters at Rusororo. Adams Kwizera with the details.
Addressing to more than 2,000 RPF Inkotanyi members and various invited guests, President Paul Kagame and the chairman of the RPF Inkotanyi say that founding principles of the RPF Inkotanyi and its politics require members to remain focused on their mission and work together in finding practical solutions to the country's challenges. The RPF's politics is about confronting problems and finding solutions. That's the only politics. Politics based on lies, on making things up, on deception, on looking for ways to cheat. What some of you sometimes call gushanya, painting a picture, only creates more problems. It does not provide solutions. It simply adds new problems to the ones you already had. President Kagame also urged members to rely on their own initiative and avoid waiting for the others to provide solutions. Every nation and every people possesses something they can contribute. Instead of developing those strengths and using them to move your country forward, if you simply wait for someone else to come, use them, and then give you the assistance you need, you have already reduced yourself to nothing. Do not diminish yourselves. Do not reduce yourselves to nothing. The president also reminded young people that their time to contribute to nation's building is now, stressing that the country has high expectations for the next generation, emphasizing on building the foundation.
Don't invest in vibes. Invest on the foundation, in the foundation where you can now vibe.
During this meeting, President Kagame also challenged leaders to improve service delivery and ensure that citizens remain at the center of their work and decision-making. The RPF Inkotanyi Political Bureau meeting brought together members from across the country, the majority of whom were youth. It was also attended by senior government officials and members of diplomatic corps accredited to Rwanda. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
President Paul Kagame has again criticized the international community for failing to address the threat posed by the FDLR terrorist group, while instead blaming Rwanda for the insecurity in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. Using the example of a former FDLR member, President Kagame noted that the international community deliberately ignores testimonies and information repeatedly provided by former leaders of the armed group, which, he pointed out, continues to work hand in hand with the Congolese government while the international community looks on.
The story of even how he went to Burundi and everything he did there, and the names of people who did what, who are still there, who left, or who died, or something. He's an encyclopedia on this. And he actually was part of it. He told us, those who must have, I mean, who were here saw it or saw it on television. And he has notebooks, he has pictures, he has evidence later on which. But forget about all that. The story has always been, and he told us, you remember, he told us even of the connivance of the UN, the peacekeepers. Yes, they worked with, they were selling gold together, they were involved in the timber business, in agriculture, and named places, people, and where. It's just so. But despite all that, up to this day, you will hear people say, FDR don't exist. The UN, there's something, there are some experts, group of experts. They'll tell you all those stories. It's like that story doesn't exist. Or if they say it, they say it so lightly that you should believe it doesn't matter.
President Kagame also criticized those who accuse Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebel group while disregarding the historical realities rooted in colonialism.
Drones were firing at them indiscriminately. In markets, in churches, many people died. Maybe, hopefully one day people will go there and investigate and will find the truth. But what was disturbing was that in that same conversation and argument, somebody says, don't bring up that issue, it is none of your business. Meaning, shut up, we are going to kill them anyway. I mean, I'm just calling a spade a spade. It's like, shut up. It's none of your business. They didn't even say, are you sure they're being killed? Or are you creating a story or what? No, it's like, that's none of your concern. But if it is not my concern, maybe it should be yours. So why are you not concerned? And things keep getting worse and out of control every time. So where we are now, we just told, remove your defensive measures. Whether we are associated with and helping FDLR, with the Congolese army and the government to do whatever they want, and then in exchange you have whatever you want, just shut up. So this is what we are being told. But making people shut up, just shut up, I think it's going to be probably more difficult than people think. To say we will support those who want to come and kill you, or like they killed you last time, or we will handle it the way we want, so shut up. Well, I only shut up when I'm dead. That's when I'm coming. Absolutely. That is the only way to make me shut up. That's it. For the belittling everything and making it look like some people's lives are just maybe, I don't know. It's not my politics. It's not RPF's politics. We are a small country, very insignificant in many ways. You can do much harm to us, granted, but boy, wishing us away is not a big thing, is not a small thing. Wishing us away just to say disappear. They were saying they will make it disappear FDLR, they make it disappear M23. By extension, they were saying even you, Rwanda, will make you disappear. Well,
the head of state also referred to the various peace talks held in Nairobi, Luanda, Tanzania, Doha, and Washington, D.C., saying they failed to resolve the crisis because of the Congolese government's lack of political will and its attempt to shift responsibility for its own problems onto Rwanda.
Every time I brought up this issue with the people, I said, why did you make this Rwanda's problem? It is not Rwanda's problem, it is the problem of Congo and their own people, and it only becomes our problem when it comes to FDLR that must be sorted out. One way or the other, either you sort it out, you Congolese, or the UN that is employed there in their thousands, you address that problem and stop them from invading our country, or we will sort it out ourselves. Eventually, that's how we were drawn into this matter.
The president reaffirmed that Rwanda will continue to give priority to national security and will not accept responsibility for the mistakes others make. Now, Rwanda's National Public Prosecution Authority has commended countries that continue to arrest suspects accused of participating in the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, while noting that some countries, particularly in Africa, have shown limited willingness to do so. The remarks come after 2 Rwandan genocide suspects were arrested in Germany and Canada based on extradition requests and case files submitted by Rwanda in 2014 and 2019. Our colleague Clema Karambizi spoke with the spokesperson of the authority, Faustin Husi.
The National Public Prosecution Authority has so far sent over 1,213 indictments to different countries. If you look at the number that we have sent all over the world, 83% of the indictments were sent in Africa, whereas 16% were sent in Europe, European countries, Canada and USA and the other countries. NPP commends countries that are committed to continue working with us because, as I mentioned before, 31 indictments were tried. 32 trials were tried in foreign jurisdictions, more particularly the countries in European countries, France, Belgium, Denmark, and the other countries. They tried over 32 cases, which we really commend and appreciate the work they do. And I may say that the NPP is ready to continue working with them to make sure that those who committed genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda in 1994 be prosecuted and be brought to justice and face justice. But we also commend the other countries that have also either deported or extradited, because we have over 30 fugitives who were deported and extradited to Rwanda. We have around 13 fugitives who were extradited to be tried in our domestic courts. So they are currently facing justice. Some of them have already been tried by our domestic courts and they are currently serving their sentence, whereas others are still, 2 cases are still going on. But we also have other cases that people were deported to come and serve their sentence with the different countries. So it is really commendable, and we are really ready to continue working with the countries that are ready to or committed to be with us in this journey of investigating and prosecuting these international crimes. As I mentioned before also, we have over 1,213 indictments and international death warrants sent all over the world. This is a big number. If you look at, as I said, Africa, over 83% are in Africa. This is 1,017 indictments who are still at large. And if you look, as I mentioned, in Africa, in the European countries, Canada, USA, and other Scandinavian countries, we have over 196 indictments and international death warrants sent to these countries. But the way you see how they are committed to work with us, it's really commendable, because over 31 fugitives were tried in the domestic courts, more especially in France, Belgium, and the other countries. So I think we still have a lot of work to do with these countries. 32 years is really quite a long time. The more we delay justice to be given to those who still need it, for us, we find it that as a challenge, because the more time elapses, 32 years, those who committed genocide, we have experienced that some of them are dying. And also it has also another challenge, another effect for those who suffered, or the victims, because they don't see justice being done. And it is also possible that, and it is evident, because over 32 years, people forget, people get old, even others die. So I think there is a need for all countries in the world, to make sure that we don't take this as a matter, we take this as a serious matter, to make sure that those who commit international crimes are prosecuted. And also, as a matter of customary international law, there is an obligation under international law for all countries to either extradite or prosecute those who commit international crimes. So this is an obligation under customary international law, which requires all countries that they don't keep silent. They don't allow these people to stay on their soil and stay in safe haven for the acts they committed in Rwanda.
Rwandan peacekeepers serving in the Central African Republic have provided free medical services to inmates at Bria Prison, treating more than 80 prisoners. The outreach was organized as part of activities marking Nelson Mandela International Day, which will be observed on Saturday. The services provided included malaria treatment, diagnosis and treatment of internal medical conditions, dental care, eye care, treatment of skin diseases, and other general medical services. The inmates were also given medication free of charge. Addressing those who attended the event, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Isaiah Nzaisenga said a team of specialist medical personnel had been deployed to provide medical care services to the inmates. He noted that the initiative reflects the commitment of the United Nations multi-dimensional integrated stabilization mission in the Central African Republic to continue to support local communities in addressing healthcare challenges. The director of Bria Prison, Mahamai Adum Saleh, thanked MINUSCA and the Rwandan peacekeepers for their continued support. Now, moving on. For many graduates, securing employment after school remains a major challenge. At the Rwanda Institute for Conservation Agriculture, a job fair is currently being used as a bridge between the classroom and the workplace, connecting students with employers in a sector central to Rwanda's economic transformation. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
For these final students, this is more than a career event. It is an opportunity to turn years of training into professional opportunities. The RICA Job Fair brings together graduating students, employers, and industry partners with one goal: creating a smoother transition from education into employment.
It gives our students the opportunity to learn from industry leaders, understand employer expectations, expand their professional networks, and explore exciting career opportunities.
For employers, the event provides access to a pool of trained young professionals ready to contribute to agriculture, research, innovation, and agribusiness. This applauds RICA's students for being highly qualified and knowledgeable about modern agriculture practices.
We do support farmers, and we always support farmers in terms of training, but also in terms of demonstration. We want to tell or teach them how to do the things. So RICA students help us to do the practice. They are well knowledgeable in terms of conservation agriculture. They are well knowledgeable in terms of animal production and technique. So when we host them on the field, we use them to train farmers, and that is specific uniqueness of RICA intervention. They train them how to do good agronomist on the ground, and ripple effect is benefiting out of it during internship period.
Rwanda's agriculture sector is undergoing transformation with increasing demand for professionals who can combine technical knowledge with practical solutions. Students say that RICA's approach to education is both practical and effective.
In the first year and second year, we engage in the field. We have the basics that are needed at the field level. And the third year, we get to integrate it and basically go into different specialization according to what we have been exposed to. Coming out of campus life, we live at the campus. Sometimes we're not exposed to different companies that do different things. So hosting this kind of gathering, it's important to us because we get to meet. There are some people that we didn't know. There are some companies that we were not aware of, not because we haven't been exposed, we haven't had awareness of it, but because sometimes it's not what exactly you want. You don't know exactly what they do. So this helps us to bridge the gap between what we want to know and what they also want from the graduating people, and also what they would want in a company.
The 50% of our degree is not just theory, it's practical. We learn what farmers are dealing with, and we learn how to translate the research courses that we have been learning from RICA to real practical solutions that farmers could use to improve their productivity.
Beyond recruitment, the job fair reflects a broader effort to bring education and industry closer, together supporting youth employment while building the workforce needed to drive Rwanda's agriculture ambitions.
We've come to the end of this edition. I thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Until then, goodbye.